I'm working on this project and I just decided to make a video about it so that it can also help someone that wants to know how to make use of Photoshop combined with After Effects to be able to create their video or motion graphics animation. So this is a project for Innovate Africa conference. So I did a video editing of their 2024 conference, and I'm creating a highlight that will talk about what happened in 2024 and then introduce the 2025 that is upcoming. So I have a voiceover. So this is the voiceover.
The next chapter is here. Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Theme: Reimagining Africa's Leadership and Investment. Happening on the 23rd to 24th October 2025 at the ECOWAS Conference Hall, Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria. Anticipate.
So this is the jingle. Now I already did a highlight. This is the highlight I did.
Welcome to Innovate Africa Conference 2024.
So this is the highlight.
This is more than just a gathering.
That talks about the conference, but then I want to add at the end to introduce the 2025. So that's audio I played earlier is the jingle for 2025. Now my thought process is this: I want it to come up like a flyer. So that is why I designed it using Photoshop. So this is how it will look at the end of the day. So but then if you are listening to the audio, you say welcome to Innovate Africa Conference 2025. It mentioned the date, it mentioned the theme, it mentioned the venue. So every single information mentioned in that first audio, they are here. So what I'll now do is to bring in this Photoshop document inside After Effects, and then as the audio is playing, I will be animating these individual elements so that at the end of the day they will form this kind of flyer, right? So that is the whole idea. So everything here, this is the background. So this background is blue. This background is originally blue. In fact, the blue actually made sense, but then the color of the Innovate Africa is green, so I used hue and saturation to change the background to be this light green. Then I have this map stuff I added here, opacity 40%, so that it's not too visible. If I made it 100%, this is how it will look. So I use 40% opacity. Then this is the heading. This heading contains the text, and then this 2025. This is just a text that I designed using masking to mask out different parts of it to make it to look like that. And then we have the theme here. We have the date and the venue. So this is what I have. I saved this file as the next chapter. So coming back to my After Effects project, so this is the scene of the other conference that was played before.
Africa Conference 2024. This is more than just a gathering.
So there are a couple of things happening here. So all the speakers are talking, just a short clip of, if you look at this timing indicator, you see that just a clip of how many seconds? 5 seconds, this person 10 seconds, this one 6 seconds, short clips of where they made a statement. So there is already a video which I already have. For example, they have different sessions, economic sessions, so where all these people spoke extensively. So each of these videos are about 5 to 6 minutes, but then this is more like a highlight that put everything together. So I just need a statement made by each of the speakers. So like looking at this person, what this person said.
A leader must possess some certain characters that actually attract people.
Intellectual conversations around the development problems of post.
So just making a statement like this one.
How are we shaping Africa?
We need African leaders that have great executive intelligence.
If the government really wants investments to strive, put in place those basic infrastructure.
I believe when we come together, the Western world will shake.
So you get the idea. So this is the highlight, just short clips. You see there are quite a number of them. So that not to make the video too long as well. Currently the video is about 3 minutes. So this is the one I did earlier. It's just for 2024. But then I'll be changing this ending part. Instead of just ending with 2024, it will end with the one we designed 2025. So this is the process, and I want to share it so that you can be able to get the idea of how something like this can be done. So first of all, let me import the document. So currently, because this file I'm working with, these videos are very huge in size, I'm using my external drive. I'm working on them from the external drive. So I like to put every other thing also inside the external drive, so every file will be the same. So copying this my map animation, not map animation, the flyer, where is it? So this jingle, I'll copy it, and then where is it again? Next chapter. So I'll create a folder here. I'll call it 2025. So because each of these files, like, see this one 30 gig, this one 30 gig, so they are 100 and something gig, and that's why I'm now using my system to work on them, because they are much. So I have this file, and then I have the audio file as well. So what I'll now do is, inside here I'll import the 2025 folder. Click import the folder. When you open the folder, okay, I have to import this PSD document separately. So the way it's currently imported is imported like a single footage. So I will delete it. I'll import it like a composition, so that all the folders, you see, import as a footage. So if you click here, you see import as composition, retain layer. So I'll use this, import as composition and retain layer, so that I'll have access to all the individual files inside this Photoshop. And then I'll open it, editable layer style, yes. So that if I want to change, what it means is that hue and saturation I added, if for example I want to change it, I can edit it. If I merge it, I can no longer change it. So I'll leave it as editable, so that I can still go back to edit it. So once I import that, it will automatically create a composition. So if I click on this folder contains every single thing. You see that 2025, you see the background, You see the conference. So all the individual elements will be separated, and then it will give me a composition. So it's looking like this because I'm working with quarter. If I put it on full, you see it will come back. So this is to enable me to work faster. So this one, let me just put it on auto for now. So auto, your system will adjust by itself whether it wants to be full or half or quarter. So this is what I have. This is what I'll now be animating. Now what I'll do now is to import. Let me put all these things inside 2025 so that I can easily access them. So this is the audio. So see the timeline is very long. It's 4 minutes long because it's using the settings I used for the last edit, which is 4 minutes. So what I will do is to shorten it. For example, put it like 30 seconds. Right click and then trim comp to work area. So it's currently like about 30 seconds long.
The next chapter is here. Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Theme, Reimagining.
The next chapter is here. So this heading, I'll have to open it up and bring out everything inside. Now there is a plugin that you can use to pre-compose. The reason why this is pre-composed is because inside Photoshop is inside a folder. So Photoshop automatically creates a pre-composition when you have a folder. So if I open it, you will see it here. So what I'll do is to just copy them, Ctrl C, come back here, Ctrl V, and then I'll delete the pre-composition from here so that I can easily animate the individual element. I don't want it to be in pre-compose. So every single thing. Now the way this text is, if for example I want to change this text to make this text editable, so currently it's a Photoshop document, which means if I select it, it's selecting like a picture, right? You will not see any text editing properties. You only see like transform properties here. So what I'll do is, if I want that, because I want to like animate this using like a text preset. So when I right click on this, you see create. Under create, you will see convert editable to editable text. Once I click on it, it will become editable. You can now see the text properties here. So I can decide to change the font color, the font that I use. Let's say I want to use this font, you see. So it's now editable like a text. So what I'll do is to, the ones I know I need to like do that for, I will convert them. So this Innovate Africa, convert it to text. This, you see the hue and saturation, it came in as adjustment layer. So see, let me turn it off. You see it's still happening as hue and saturation. When I come to effect, you will see the hue and saturation here, you see. So it's an adjustment layer as it is now. The same way is an adjustment layer inside Photoshop. So I can decide to like, if I want to make it change it, I can decide to change it to another color, right? So that is why I selected editable option when I was importing. So this one is my background. This is the map image 2025 Innovate Africa. I've converted it to text. Conference, convert conference to text as well. Team, convert team to text. the dates and the venue. All right, so these are the ones I want to have as text. So this is what I have so far. So let me start the animation process, making use of the voiceover. Now heading back to what I have, I'll just be editing any place that I need to like explain what I'm doing. I will talk about it.
May this conference inspire you to push boundaries, ignite transformative change, and lead Africa into a future of limitless possibilities. Let's shape the future together.
So I want to cut this here because what is said before is what it will say next, what she will say next has something to do with the 2024.
Welcome to Innovate Africa Conference 2024.
So I will not be making use of this. So this is the composition containing this last scene. So I will be removing it and then cutting this one here. So this one, I don't want it to be the end. I'll put it in the middle between the conversations. So let me say somewhere around here after the presidential panel.
Is the fact that they listen to the people.
Development.
So I want to put it here. So I'll put my time indicator here, select these two layers and use this left square bracket to move it to where my time indicator is. I'll bring it down so everything up here, I want to move all of them to come to the end of this guy. I'll come to the end, select this one, hold down shift and select this one. By selecting everything, what is this one? Okay, the animation I did, I'll have to unlink it because you see it has disappeared because it's linked to something else. It's linked to a null layer that I did before. So I'll just come back, open position, right click and reset. So I'll move it in the middle using alignment to okay. So I will remove the link I did because I'm not using the other animation again. I'll remove this link as well. So no parenting. This one is also parented. I'll remove it. So I'll delete this null layer. I don't need it anymore. So from here, come to the end of this, select this one, hold down shift, select this last one and move it. When I'm moving it, when I hold down shift, it will be snapping. So I'll put it here so that when this one finish.
Future together.
Development.
Okay. Now what happened to this guy? Oh, I turned it off. Zooming in close, I can adjust this guy.
Abilities. Let's shape the future together.
Development.
So there is a delay here. Let me check here.
The people. That they listen to the people.
May the
So the delay before she talked, I don't want it. I want a continuous flow of speech.
That they listen to the people.
So just before she said may, yeah, around here, I'll select these two and bring it back. So I'll make it to be here so that it will be seamless.
Is the fact that they listen to the people.
may this conference.
So it's better this way. Then coming back here, I have to adjust the ending part as well. The moment she finished talking, I want to cut it. So
Let's shape the future together.
and that is it, together. At this point, I'll cut it. So this is where this one should be. So I'll select it again, hold down shift and select everything. I'll zoom in closer and I'll move it backward. So I think it's better now.
Let's shape the future together.
Development is actually where you.
So that is it. A continuous flow. So after this last speaker, that is where I'll be adding this part, this next chapter. So it will come here. So let's animate it separately on its own composition, and then we'll bring it inside the general composition. So from the beginning, nothing will be showing, well, except the background. So yeah, so let me change the color of everything that is background so that they will be separate. Background orange, including this hue and saturation. So this is the audio. So this one, let me change it so that I know that everything of this color is text, and then this is the 2025, and then this one. So select everything here, move it so that I'll play the video.
The next chapter is here.
So the next chapter is here. I'm thinking this is the part, this is just 2 seconds long. So this is the part where this composition will animate into the next scene, right? So the next chapter is here.
Innovate Africa Conference 2025.
So this is where Innovate Africa Conference 2025 should start from 2 seconds. I move it using the left square bracket. So also, because I want to animate it, I want to be able to move them as a group. So I'll add a null layer, new null object. I'll call it, rename it to heading control. Put it down here. Then I'll drag it to be here. I'll change it to green. I like to use my null layers with green color. I'll turn it off. It doesn't have to be on. So I'll link all these things to it, parent it to a null layer. So with this null layer, I can move them together. So what did he say?
Chapter is here.
Innovate Africa Conference 2025. So I will use, go to the beginning of the layer. First of all, I'll move it to the middle. Select this guy. I will use a text animation, effects and presets, text animation, animating. So let me use blinking.
Innovate Africa.
It's too fast. Make it slow.
Innovate Africa Conference.
Okay, it's now too slow.
Innovate Africa Conference.
It's not too slow. I think it's even better before, sir.
Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Theme: Reimagining Africa's Leadership and Investment.
Do I want this blinking to continue? So if I don't want the blinking to continue, I'll just split the layer and delete it. So I'll do it first. If I don't want it, I'll split the layer to remove it.
Chapter is here. Innovate Africa.
Innovate Africa. So conference, because it said Innovate Africa Conference before 2025. So what I'll do is I will Innovate Africa, move 2025 out first. At the end of this keyframe, I'll hold down Shift and press P to open the position. I'll add a stopwatch and move it forward and then drag it down. I want it to be in the middle, so I can just use this guy. Yeah, so the animation will happen in the middle before it will go back to the position where it's supposed to be. So it will
Innovate Africa Conference 2.
So don't animate yet, just stay here for now. Innovate Africa Conference. Okay, conference. The animation for conference is typewriter.
Innovate Africa Conference. Innovate Africa Conference 2020.
I don't want it to type. Let me do a simple animation using position and opacity. Position, opacity. Turn on the stopwatch for the tool. Select it, move it aside, and then I'll drag it down and then make the opacity to be 0. So it will move up, and then while it's moving up, it will fade in.
Innovate Africa Conference 2.
What I want to do, this guy, I want two of them to be in the middle. So if I bring up my middle position by activating the title action, so this is, it will show me the middle. Looking at this, you see the cross, this is the middle. So drag this up. I want these two texts to share the middle. Okay. Add opacity first. Move it up. Okay. Okay, come back here. Make the opacity to be 0. So
Yeah. Innovate Africa Conference. Innovate Africa Conference.
I want this to happen faster.
Innovate Africa Conference 2020.
So Innovate Africa Conference.
Africa Conference.
So the moment conference finish, I want to make a space for the 2025 by taking the Innovate up and bringing the conference down. So it will create a space. So this is 2025. So at this point, I'll add a stopwatch for position, and then this same place, this one ended. I'll add another stopwatch. Okay, I'll move it down. So this is how I want it to be. Now, while that is happening at the beginning, I want to scale this one in. Turn on the stopwatch for scale. Go to where it stops. Add another stopwatch. Go to the beginning and make it 0. So this is what I have so far.
Innovate Africa Conference 2025.
Okay.
Conference 2025.
So it will be as if while it is zooming, these ones are making space for it. So you see, it's zooming in, they are making space for it to come in. So that is the idea.
Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Africa Conference 2025.
So it's a bit slow, like behind. Let me move it.
Africa Conference 2025. Africa Conference 2025.
Okay. So right now I have to make it F9. Easy is just use my keyboard shortcut F9. So when I open this graph editor, I want to do it one after the other. So these two guys are both position. This is the first position. It's linear, that's why it's like this. The first position that happened here. So I want to come closer. So these two guys, I want to push it in so that it will happen and then slowly reduce.
Conference 2020.
Okay, so for scale, select it, do the same thing. So that it will end smoothly.
Innovate Africa Conference 2025.
Okay, it's better. So let me give it more space to animate.
Innovate Africa Conference 2025.
So this is the first part. Now, the next thing is
theme, reimagining.
So the next thing is the theme. So this is why I did what I did with the position of my null. This is why I put it on null. So I want animation to happen in the middle. Then once it's done,
Conference 2025.
This is the null. I'll now add the position keyframe, come forward, and then push it up.
Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Theme, reimagining.
Okay. It happened so fast.
5. Theme.
So F9, open graph editor, make it to come closer. Want it to start fast and end slow. So
5. Theme, theme. Conference 2025. Theme.
Okay, it's smoother.
2025. Theme, reimagining.
So while it's saying theme, I want the theme to show. So where is theme? This is theme. So theme. So I want it to slide in from the left to the right. So come in here, open position, put a stopwatch, bring it here, and then drag it all the way off the screen.
25. Theme,
Now, this looks like a long distance, so I don't want it to travel all the way to this place. So let me see. I'll use opacity. Open opacity. And then come to the beginning and make it 0. So that in the beginning, it will not be too visible before it will land. And then I'll make it easy ease. Open this guy. I only want to adjust the position to end smoothly.
Conference 2025. Theme,
Okay.
Theme,
So it comes in a bit quick and then ends slowly. So let me see. Let me make it, give it a bit more time.
5. Theme,
Okay, it's better.
Theme, theme, theme,
So this guy is too up. It needs to be within this box, this inner box. So come back to this animation and push it down. I'll have to put my time indicator on the keyframe before I can adjust it. No, not this guy. My null layer. Yeah. So it will be here.
5. Theme: Reimagining Africa's Leadership and Investment.
Okay, so this is where it stopped. So I'll move the venue and the dates out of the way. So to animate this theme, because it's talking about it slowly, reimagining Africa's leadership and investment. So I'll do fade up animation. So using animation presets, I'll use fade up words. So I'll open the preset, animate in say fade up words. So open the keyframe.
Reimagining.
It's too fast.
Reimagining Africa's Leadership and Investment.
Perfect. So each word, as he's saying each word, they'll be fading in. So this is it so far. So after that we have
investment happening on the 23rd.
So because date was mentioned before the venue, I think I need to readjust it. Let me increase this venue. I don't think it's center. Make it a bit bigger. Yeah, 40. It's not looking too big. 38. Okay, push it down a bit, just before the bounding box. This guy, push it down. These dates, I want it to be bold. Okay. Okay. Let it be the way it is, but it will have a background. So select this to draw a shape. So I'll pick this same green color here and draw a shape. Move this down. I'll rename it date background. So I'll come here and cut it so it will be the same. So this date, I'll change the color to be white. I think I need to make it semi-bold. Yeah, center it. Select this one, center the anchor point and center it. So what I'll do is I'll use this background to review the date. So what I'll do is come here on the part 1 and convert it to Bezier part. So when I select the part, I can animate it. So I'll turn on the stopwatch for the part and move it forward and then select it. Using the arrow key, I'll move it backward. So let me zoom in close. Okay, that is okay.
Happening on the 23rd.
So I want this shape to reveal the text. So what I'll do is I'll parent it because it's currently showing. So this text, I'll use this background as the mask. So I'll select the background as the mask. So what will happen is it will turn it off, but I want it to be on, so I'll turn it back on. So you notice that the text is no longer showing. It's only visible where the shape is. So that is how I'll use it to reveal it.
Happening on the 23rd.
So it's too fast.
Happening on the 23rd to 24th October 2020.
Okay, I think this is okay.
Happening on the 23rd to 24th October 2025 at
Okay, so at this point, this is where the venue will happen.
2025 at the ECOWAS Conference Hall, Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria.
So I'm thinking using typewriter effect for ECOWAS, or I'll just feed it in. So let me see.
At the ECOWAS Conference Hall, Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria.
It took how many seconds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Typewriter will not be very good. So I'll just feed it in. Feed it in from down. Position and opacity. Position, opacity. And then I'll move it down off the screen and make the opacity to be 0.
At the ECOWAS.
It's too slow.
At the ECOWAS Conference Hall, Asokoro, Abuja.
Okay. I think this is okay. So come back here. I think it's bring it down a bit. It's to make it faster. Let me see.
At the ECOWAS.
Make it faster.
At the ECOWAS Conference.
Okay. Somewhere here. Then easy is F9. Where is the position? Open the position and make it to end smoothly.
5 at the echo.
So at this juncture, make it like this.
5 at the ECOWAS Conference Hall.
So that is smooth.
At the ECOWAS Conference Hall, Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria.
And that is it. What else?
Anticipate.
So this anticipates. I'm thinking. Okay. Let's anticipate. Anticipate. Anticipate will be a separate composition. Maybe I'm thinking of like having the logo, or maybe I won't even animate that. Let me see. Inside here, I'll locate the composition. Next chapter, I'll bring it in. So move it here. I have to increase it because this composition is 4K and the other one is 1920 by 1080. So I need to scale it up. How many seconds is this? So adjust this guy.
our own platforms where we can thrive.
The next
where we can thrive.
Where we can thrive.
Okay, so at this juncture, so I'm thinking, so I want to continue making use of this mask. So you see, the mask that made all this video to be curved is this guy in yellow mask. So when I select this guy, the mask, I'll use it to mask it as well, so that it will also be curved. So at this juncture,
The next chapter is here. Innovate Africa Conference 2025.
Thrive.
The next chapter is here. Innovate Africa Conference 2025.
see the way it's happening because I'm using half. Let me use half though until it crashed.
The next chapter is here.
So these 2 seconds that said the next chapter is here, I want to do something so it doesn't look too plain. So I'm thinking, what do I do? There are some things I have here. So this thing is how many seconds? Yeah. So I'll make use of this guy, a template that I already have. So I want to make use of it to like create something dynamic before
We can thrive.
The next chapter is here. Innovate Africa.
So the next chapter is here. This guy, the
next chapter is the next
just before the animation starts. Okay.
The next chapter is here. Innovate.
So it will start animating. So this is what I will use. The next chapter is here. So let me modify this guy. So open it up. So this first scene should be the image of the woman talking at the last scene, the video. So I'll copy it, come in here. Where is this guy? Okay, this is it. Come inside, open the scene, open this one, paste it here. It's a view. So it should be okay.
It's really not.
So at this point I don't need the audio, so I just want the video to be there. Okay, let me see.
The next chapter is here.
Okay, let me turn off this guy. The color adjustments. So this will carry one of the videos. So let me look for something, any of the videos from the previous one. Let me see, something that had to do with a wider this guy, this one, where is it? Okay, copy this guy, paste it here. Are you sure? I don't think that is it. Oh, okay, it's inside here. Which one are you? This guy. There you are. Copy this guy. Paste it here.
Future for the continent. What I find the most.
I don't need your audio. So come back here. I think it's black and white. Let me make it color. I need 4 videos. So this guy, I want to put something like a panel where they are sitting on a panel here. So let me look for a panel video, just like this one. I think I have a panel video here. Panel video like this guy. I've opened this before, yeah. So I'll move it up. Yeah, something like this. No audio. Okay. Remove the color. And then so this guy, just put one video there. So from this place, I'll select one of the videos. What will I select? Let me use this guy, Professor. I'll use Professor, put it here. I don't need the audio. Let me see. Should I leave the color? Let me leave the color to create that dynamic stuff, right? So I'll add one more here. What do I add here? Let me add Dr. Roberts. I think under infrastructure, yeah, somewhere here. Okay, here. Let me look for, okay, him, Dr. Michael Roberts. Add it here. Turn on the audio. Make it color. I think I changed my mind. I'll use this someone there. I don't want some. I'll use this infrastructure panel. Okay. Let me use the panel. I'll look for panel. For where the panel. Okay. At this point, this is what I want. All right. I don't want it to be only one person. Okay, so this guy, maybe another panel. Let's say presidential panel. This is presidential panel. This is presidential panel. So this is where I will now import this guy. So
is here.
I'll increase the composition. It's currently 5 seconds. I'll make it 25 seconds.
Anticipate.
Okay. Meanwhile, I need to turn off this audio here. I'll add the audio separate. So coming back to this place, so what I'll do is this audio layer, guide layer. So what guide layer does, guide layer, it makes it possible that when I'm playing this, the audio will play.
Chapter is
this layer will be functional only inside here. Any place outside, it will no longer be functional. So when I come back here and play, you will see that no audio will play because I made it a guide layer somewhere else. So what I'll do is to now add the audio separate here. If I open the composition, the audio will still be there. So this guy, let me see what I have. So I'll no longer make use of this guy. I'll now be making use of this guy. because it's inside it. The composition is short for now.
Thrive.
The next chapter is here. Africa Conference.
So I have some work to do inside here. There is an animation happening that I don't want. So this layer is parented somewhere. This layer is something is masking it. What is masking it? Number 18. Okay, it's okay. So the mask is parented to number 19. Review keyframes. So it's parented to number 19. So what is causing? Okay, it has camera. Oh, okay. So this animation, I need to remove it. I don't want it. Meanwhile, I need to edit the composition and make all of them 25 seconds because it's now long. This one, I'll make it 25 seconds. Is there any effect I need to be that long? So this movement, forget about it. Okay, the mask. So the mask has reached the end. I have to expand the mask. Is this the mask? So this guy also, what is this guy? He's a background. So why did he disappear? It's because of camera. So this null layer, also adjust it. I don't care about this one here. So this is what I have. So if I come back here, I can now extend this layer. Okay, let's see what we have so far.
On platforms where we can thrive.
The next chapter is Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Theme
Okay, something has adjusted. Something has adjusted. It is not, the audio did not match. And then let me see.
chapter is here.
I need this part to be faster. Okay, I need to split this audio to allow the animation to finish, because you see our animation started at Innovate Africa Conference, but by the time it will say it here, it's still animating those multiple screens.
The next chapter is here.
You see, this is where the Innovate Africa started. Meanwhile, our animation have not started.
Innovate Africa.
So what I'll do is to split the audio. The next chapter is here. I'll split the layer so that I can manually add a space.
Innovate Africa.
Just before Innovate Africa start, I'll move it to start here. So I'll manually create a space.
Forms where we can thrive.
The next chapter is here. Innovate Africa Conference 2020.
It did not match well. Is it doing like this?
Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Theme: Reimagining Africa's Leadership and Investment. Happening on the 23rd to 24th October 2025 at the ECOWAS Conference Hall, Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria. Anticipate.
Welcome to.
Okay, let me see.
Thrive.
The next chapter is here. Innovate Africa Conference.
The gap is looking like it's too much. Let me adjust it. So instead of this time it will waste before this gap I give here for the next chapter. I'll cut it off. So that the space will not be too much. So
is here. Next chapter is here. Innovate Africa Conference 2020.
So that gap, yeah. So I've covered the gap so that it will be seamless.
Is here. Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Theme: Reimagining.
Okay, I think it's better.
Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria. Anticipate.
I might just leave this blinking. Let it just be there. Let it be a symbol of anticipate. Okay, so the video is 3 minutes 36 seconds. I think I'm done with it. Now it's time to export.
4th October 2025 at the ECOWAS Conference Hall, Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria. Anticipate.
Welcome to Innovate Africa Conference 2024.
Okay, let's export the video. File export at the render. No, this is not what I want to export. Delete. This is the one I want to export. Okay, so this render will probably take, the last one took about 20 minutes, so probably to be around the same time. So we'll come back to see the video when it is done. Alright, so the render is done. and it took about 24 minutes 10 seconds to render. So this is the final video.
Welcome to Innovate Africa Conference 2024. This is more than just a gathering. It is a catalyst for change.
To conduct, character, and the way they conduct their affairs in public. If we want to transform the society, we need to get into the society, get it done.
We don't like this idea.
Bringing U.S. citizens in for purposes of doing business.
Africa's been able to actually advance slightly faster than it would have been if we had stuck to old technology.
So to service people networks with the African diaspora.
It is really not about complaining that we do not have access, but really being intentional about creating our own platforms where we can thrive.
The next chapter is here. Innovate Africa Conference 2025. Theme: Reimagining Africa's Leadership and Investment. Happening on the 23rd to 24th October 2025 at the ECOWAS Conference Hall, Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria. Anticipate.
This is my work process for this highlight that will also serve as a promotional video for the upcoming conference in October. So you see how I used Photoshop to be able to do this. I know a lot of people don't know how to make use of Photoshop, or they don't have the software, but Canva is available for free and is online. So what I'll do is I'll create another video later to show you how you can design on Canva and then bring it inside After Effects and have access to all the individual elements that can be animated. If you have any question in any part of this process, you can let me know.